Greetings, everyone. We are here for another energy check. Today is Monday, November the 24th. The time is 3 o'clock a.m. I've already said my prayers. I've already shuffled all the decks. I have already cleared the energy. So we're going to jump right in and see what Spirit has to say. I'd like to welcome everyone and let everyone know that I thank you in advance. If you like to support the channel, please support the channel at priority K1. If the video resonates with you, please like and share the video. Ashe. We're going to pull one card from each deck. If Spirit doesn't have a message after rifling through the deck 3 times, I will move on to the next deck. We have 13 decks with about 80 situations in each deck. As we unfold the message, I will be taking notes. Okay? So we're going to jump right in and see what Spirit has to say. Oh, wow. What a way to start the reading. Spirit, funny sometimes. Starting the reading out, your sex is amazing. Wow. Something about that healing energy. Something about that healing energy. What message do you have? Whoa. Didn't waste no time popping that out, did you, Spirit? Okay, so right now we're dealing with some immature karmics. Spirit is saying have patience and be fearless. Okay. Fearlessness and patience. Okay, so we got an immature energy in the energy. We got fearlessness and patience. Four at the bottom of the deck. See what that means real quick. I know that is a synchronicity for me. I have been seeing that number a lot. I just forgot what it means. Angel number 444. Angel number 444 is a symbol of stability, guidance, and protection, suggesting that you are on the right path towards your goals and that your angels are supporting you. It represents a time of clarity and decisiveness, encouraging you to have confidence in your decisions and to stay diligent. Seeing this number can be a sign to pay attention to the divine signs and guidance from your angels as you are entering a period of positive progression. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so Spirit is letting us know that we're on the right track and be fearless and patient. What else do you have for us, Spirit? Thank you, Spirit. Game over for the karmics. Game over for this immature energy. Excuse me, confirmation. Morality and ethics in Newton's law. Interesting. Mortality and ethics in Newton's law. Newton's law, if I'm not mistaken, is whatever can happen will happen. If I'm not mistaken, that's what Newton's law is whatever can happen will happen. Newton's law. Okay, so Newton's law is an object at rest. Okay, Newton's law is an object at rest, and an object in motion remains in motion at constant speed and in a straight line unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. The acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the amount of force applied. So an object at rest remains at rest, and an object in motion remains in motion at constant speed and in a straight line unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Okay, so basically what this is talking about an accident, a collision. Okay, so these immature, this immature energy whose game is over is done had a collision. Okay, we're gonna find out what, just in case, for the people that don't know, we're gonna look up mortality, the definition. What is the definition of mortality? Okay, so the definition of mortality is the state of being subject to death. Death, especially on a large scale. Okay, wow. So mortality and ethics is the way of doing things in a manner that's respectable. Okay, in a way like practicing good business ethics, like being a good businessman, being honest and ethical, with your business transactions. So I guess basically what Spirit is telling us is that this immature energy that game is over for is going to experience death in the masses because they didn't act with the proper ethics, which caused them to have a collision. Interesting. Caused them to be acted upon by a force that was set in motion. Or maybe they was the force that was set in motion. And now as a result, they being acted upon by another force, which could be the spirit, which is causing a collision. And as a result, their mortality has been cut short, which means that with these karmics, they're going to be dying. It's going to be people laying in the street. And a large amount of people are going to be passing away, basically. Anxious. And as a result, they're anxious now. Okay? Spirit telling the collective that we're on the right path. Look like anxious is spelled wrong too, so we're going to correct that. Saying cut the cord. What else you got for us, Spirit? Thank you, Spirit. Greedy. This has been in the energy. As I've been stating in all my previous video, greed is one of the 7 deadly sins. Okay? But Spirit is saying that this immature energy is someone familiar. Okay? And Spirit is saying return to sender. Which is giving a spiritual connotation over this reading. Okay? So we're going to correct that anxious later spelling. Okay, before we train, What the hell? So we got train going into the third row. I have no idea what that means. Okay, but we're going to dissect this first row before we jump into the second row. So, okay, so far we got your sex is amazing, which is the collective energy. Basically what Spirit is saying is that the healing energy, that the collective has healing energy, okay? And Spirit is telling us to be fearless and patient, okay? 444, and that came out on the immature card. Your sex is amazing. So it could have been that collective was in a relationship with somebody that was immature or not emotionally intelligent or emotionally mature. And that would be describing my ex. But Spirit is letting us know, because on the bottom of the deck of Game Over, is that the collective is on the right path, and their mortality is over. It's over for their mortality, which means that they're going to be dying in masses. Okay, and it's probably because their ethics wasn't appropriate, and they are the ones that were set in motion and being acted upon by a force, which is like explaining a collision. So their deeds have caused them a collision. They greedy and they anxious. And this is somebody that's familiar to the collective. So this could be talking about my ex, especially with the connotation of return to sender, which means that there's spell work involved. Here we got train on the bottom of the deck on the first card, on the second row, option. What else you got for us, Spirit? Train could mean that maybe they're trying to get away on a train. Maybe this immature energy is trying to abscond on a train. Tell us more though, Spirit. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Thank you, Spirit. Here we got actual death in the reverse. So it looks like somebody's not going to be passing away. But I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube, but we got an unaliving here on the cut, along with 1111. And 1111, I'm sure that means, I think 1111 means new beginning. So perhaps this immature energy wanted to unalive somebody, but it ain't gonna happen. It has been in the energy that the Dark High Priestess was determined to cause harm to a genius rising star. So maybe this immature energy wanted to cause an unaliving, but it's not going to happen. Or for this immature energy, astral death could actually mean a major transformation, which means that maybe they had a chance to walk in the light, and they chose not to walk in the light. So as a result, they're not going to have a major transformation. Pride at the bottom of the deck on the second card in the second row. Pride, as we do know, is another one of the 7 deadly sins. So it's definitely double energy for this immature energy, because we got pride, we got greed, we got game over, we got mortality, which means they're going to be dying in the masses. We got Newton's law, which is explaining how a collision happens. We got them feeling anxious, and it's somebody that's familiar to us. And Spirit is saying, return their spell work back to them. Return to sender and be fearless about it, and be patient. What else, Spirit? They did all this for a new beginning. They want to unalive the collective for a new beginning. Spirit right now dropping gems. Great in the energy. Wrong crowd almost popped out. Fear almost popped out, so they scared. Unbreakable. That's collective energy. The collective at this point is unbreakable because we have angels watching over us. That makes us unbreakable. Separate was literally in the last reading. So we got near-death experience and we got separate. I don't know. I know I had a near-death experience in March 1st. I was shot 5 times. So it could possibly be because these karmics, who is my ex, who is my sister and my mother, and the guy who raised me, that I call my father, I found out that I was adopted, and those two have been colluding together to steal an estate, a gift, an insurance policy that was left in a will, an estate, and a house. And it's funny how this separate is coming up again when it was literally in the last reading that I did. You got to go back and watch the last reading. It's called Spirit Ancestor's Message. They want all the smoke. Separate was literally in the last reading. Okay, so because the collective has been operating fearlessly and being patient and using the healing energy from sex being amazing to heal themselves, it's making them unbreakable. But maybe it was this near-death experience that put me on the right path. It's the near-death experience that's going to make me unbreakable. It's this near-death experience that's causing the game to be over for these karmics that's operating in devil energy and immature energy. Which as a result is making them anxious. Spirit baby is in the energy. On the bottom of the deck are the last card in the second row. Spirit baby. Maybe one of these karmics wanted to have a spirit baby from the collective who has amazing sex. They wanted to have a star seed. Maybe they've been trying to trap the collective with a baby. Little Spirit. Wow, Spirit didn't waste no time about that. We got weak popped out sideways. So this immature karmic energy is greedy, anxious, and weak. And they got their flying monkeys with them. But they going bankrupt. They're going bankrupt. And they got their flying monkeys with them. So, we're going to try to interpret this second row before we move on to the third row. We're going to do the third row, and we're going to interpret the third row, move on to the fourth row, and after the fourth row, we're going to interpret that, and then we're going to try to clarify. We're going to clarify the third row with the Kipper deck. On the first card on the bottom of the third row, we got side chick. Okay, so let's interpret this third row. This third row, we got train, okay? Train came out on the bottom of the deck of an actual death that was in reverse. So that's a major transformation. Could be an actual death. It could be a major transformation, okay? It could be an irreversible change, or it could be an ending. Okay, so maybe this, like I said, this immature energy tried to cause an ending, or try to keep the starseed from making a major transformation. We got 11-11, which means they did this for a new beginning. That's what 11-11 means, a new beginning. They tried to unalive a star. They tried to cause a major transformation by doing an unaliving to an earth angel or starseed, to try to separate them from the divine. They did this out of pride and greed. Now they nervous and weak, and spirit saying separate. That's what's making the collective unbreakable. Weak on the bottom of the deck on the weak card came spirit baby. Okay, so that maybe these karmics were trying to steal the collective's energy, okay, sacral energy, to have a spirit baby. So right now they're going bankrupt, but they're using their flying monkeys to try to do a smear campaign on the collective to try to divert the attention from them, because it's game over for them. On the split, we got groupie, which let us know that this is we got side chick at the bottom of the deck again. So that lets us know that groupie lets us know that this immature energy is a local celebrity. Side chick is a connotation of third-party activity. So that could be narcissistic energy. Immature narcissistic energy at that. Card number 7. All right. I already used that back. So figure out what happened. Deck number 6. There's one of the decks we didn't use yet. Probably. Let's see. No, we use 6. That's 5. Separate. We use 5. We use that. So we should be on card number 7. We use that already. Use that. Use that. We didn't use. Okay. Use that too. I don't know what's going on here. But we got psychic. I do know psychic is a gift. It's a spiritual gift. That could be saying that this immature did have spiritual gifts at one point. What else, Spirit? That hoarder of energy. They worked together at whatever they did. They're unappreciative. They're unappreciative of the gift that God gave them. We got social media. I do know that they were using social media to meet these people that they were recruiting for these sex rituals. And the social media was also a part of the smear campaign against the collective. As a result, I do know that it has been in energy, that they are under investigation by the FBI, and now as a result they have frozen accounts. You got sweet dreams in the energy at the bottom of the deck on the second card in the third row. Let's see, we're on the third row. I mean, the second card in the third row, right? Okay. You know what happened? Let me make a note of this. Spirit didn't waste no time about that. It's going to be some good news. We got impulsive, and we got broken promise. I know that my ex tried to get me to think that we was going to be in a serious long-term relationship right before she ghosted me. So that was part of the plan for me to take myself out. We got Gamer at the bottom of the deck on the third card in the third row. So evidently this is an energy that like to play games. What else, Spirit? Home invasion almost popped out. If you want to keep a secret, you must first keep it from yourself, wanted to pop out. So it's something that these karmics don't want us to know. And I believe that as they've been messing with these kids, could be an Aquarius in energy. They don't want that shit to come out. But it's already out. There's a message coming. There's a message coming in about all this. The Gamer wanted to pop out again. We got two cards, but we're going to take the one that actually popped on the board. Family heirloom is involved. So this family heirloom was supposed to go to somebody, but something obviously must have happened to it by it being in reverse. Right now they're feeling empty and drained. And it's a shared experience. Maybe they were supposed to share this heirloom. So let's try to dissect this third row, and then we're going to clarify with the Kipper, and then we're going to try to break this whole thing down. And I don't know what happened. There was some type of mistake that was made where we got a little bit off on taking the notes a little bit on the third row. I don't know how. But anyway, side chick came out on the bottom of the deck on an unappreciative. So this side chick obviously is the mature energy, okay, who's unappreciative, okay? So maybe this side chick is immature energy in a karmic relationship. Maybe this side chick was, I don't know. Maybe this side chick was my ex was the side chick in another relationship. But anyway, with groupie being out here on unappreciative, that's letting us know that this person knows a lot of people or a local celebrity. And that's clarified by a spirit with side chick being out here again. So with groupie being in the middle and in between side chick, it's this side chick that is the one that got the flying monkeys. We did see flying monkeys that came out on them being weak on the second row. This side chick has spiritual gifts from spirit. Okay, they're using social media and word magic to try to recruit people for these sex rituals into these cults and covens, and also they're using social media to try to cause a smear campaign against the collective. I do know that they are under investigation by the FBI and the IRS, because if you go back to a couple of readings where it says ex and cousin in government trouble, it discloses the fact that the karmics are under investigation by the IRS and that the FBI and the government is involved. Sweet dreams must have something to do with this good news, because Spirit is telling us that the good news is that we're going to have, as a result of us being unbreakable, okay, And as a result of us handling this situation with fearlessness and being patient, we are unbreakable, and it's game over for them. A family heirloom, it could have been the gift, okay? And they must have did something impulsive with this gift. The gift was supposed to be a promise to somebody. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be promised to the collective. Because that's the gift, that one of the things that they try to steal. They try to steal an inheritance, an estate, a house, a gift, and some money from an insurance policy. So this heirloom was promised to the collective, and that's the broken promise. That's the reason why heirloom is in reverse. This person is a gamer, which means that they like to play games, but as a result, they feeling all these karmics, especially this immature energy, okay? The side chick is feeling empty and drained. And she's sharing this feeling with the rest of the people that work together, because together was in the shuffle. So they all are experiencing this feeling of feeling empty and drained as a result, and weak for being, and anxious for being greedy and prideful. They all feeling this feeling is empty and drained for trying to have a plot or a plan to unalive the collective. But it ain't gonna work, says Spirit. They did all this for a new beginning. Now they're trying to run, escape on a train. By them having a collision, by Newton's law being explained, I don't think it was by accident. Because Newton's law is a scientific principle, and that's going to happen irregardless of whatever. So once they put this ball in motion, once they put this plan in motion, it was probably meant for this to happen. So we're going to see what the Kipper has to say. And then we're going to go back and summarize the whole message. We got main mail at the bottom of the deck. This main mail has been in the energy. I believe this main male is the guy who raised me, that I call my father. What is this first row, Spirit? Pathways in reverse, I'm going to put it upright. Pathway was in reverse for them. I just put it in the upright. So they obviously chose the wrong path. But if they pop out in reverse, thoughts, they having thoughts about this. They're anxious and having thoughts. They're weak and anxious for having thoughts about being greedy and prideful and trying to unalive the collective. They're having thoughts about this. They're having thoughts about trying to steal energy from the collective. And they worked hard about this. Sudden wealth wanted to pop out. It didn't pop out. They worked hard for this sudden wealth. In this house. Again, they worked hard. It's a message coming in. And we've seen text message that basically clarifies But there's a message. There's going to be a message coming about all this. The main male, again. Thank you, Spirit. Who's lovers. So it's got to be this main male and my ex. It's this main male and my ex who are lovers. Plotting and scheming on this. They worked hard. There it is. The mature woman. So this main male and this mature woman work together. I believe it's the maybe they both were operating in mature energy. They both were obviously in on the plan to unalive someone in the collective.
50% charge, boss.
Thank you for that confirmation. Again, they worked hard. These lovers worked hard. Again, there's a message coming in, clarifying that they worked hard about this, and it's going to be a message coming about this. Thank you. You got a wealthy man. They in bad health about this gift that they tried to steal, this family heirloom. They in bad health. They in bad health about the deceptive things that they have done to try to steal this inheritance, this house, this insurance money, and this gift. Excuse me. Show us more, Spirit. What is this third row? It's going to be a change coming. Maybe these lovers had a child. Maybe I'm the child that was supposed to receive this heirloom and this gift and this house and this insurance money and this estate. Maybe I'm the child that they tried to unalive. The fact that it's somebody familiar, it's got to be my ex and my father. There's going to be a message of this, somebody concerned. There's concern about this with an official person. There's concern, and a false person, a false couple, false couple. There's concern about this false couple. They both false. An official person. Okay, so we're going to interpret this third row, and then we're going to go back and summarize the whole video. Okay. So, we got main male at the bottom of the deck on the first card of the third row, okay? So, this main male is obviously one of the people that's operating in mature energy, but down here we got that it's a couple. It's the main male and it's this false female, this mature woman, okay? It's this main male, this mature woman, they both false people, okay? They was trying to steal a gift, which is probably this family heirloom, and this estate, this insurance policy, and this house. They are unappreciative of the gifts that God had gave them, which is psychic abilities. They are unappreciative of that. Gift and bad habit came out on wealthy man. So it's this gift once again that they're trying to unalive the collective for. Then bad health, and being that the bad health came out on this main male. This main male is probably the main person behind HIV being knowingly spread amongst these cults and covens and the Freemasons and the Eastern Stars, this community, this family, and this church sex called coven. Spirit is just clarifying that these lovers are false people. But there's an official person in the energy that is concerned about this bad health and this gift. Being that concern is right here by family heirloom, and being that gift is on the wealthy man card. And we have official person right here, right next to the wealthy man and the gift. There's an official person that's concerned about this wealthy man and this gift. And that's clarified right here by gift coming out on the cut on the wealthy man card. The good news is that the collective is unbreakable, and it's game over for these karmics. Let's go back and let's summarize this video, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, so we got your sex is amazing, which basically Spirit is talking about healing energy. Okay. The collective has the ability to heal others and himself or herself. The collective is fearless and patient through all of this spiritual attacks. (444) is Spirit telling us that we're on the right track. And it's game over for these karmics. And they're going to be dying in the masses because they weren't ethical about trying to unalive the collective for a gift. Newton's law is they were on the wrong path because wrong pathway was in reverse on the shuffle. So as a result of them being on the wrong path, they're having a collision, which is causing them to be weak. Weak for operating in devil energy, being prideful, trying to cause an actual death for starseed, being greedy. They're feeling anxious as a result of this. They're feeling anxious and weak. Anxious was at the bottom of the deck of this weak, on the greedy card. But weak is right below that. So they're feeling anxious and weak for being greedy and prideful with their plot and scheme trying to unalive the collective. This is somebody that's familiar to the collective with the main female, the main male, and with this mature woman. This mature woman has to be my ex, and the main male is my father who raised, or the guy who I call my father that raised me. Spirit saying with these spiritual attacks that's coming, return them to sender. How you return to sender is you simply just say, I return to sender with pinpoint accuracy. Anyone that may be sending me any negative energy towards me or my family. That's all you have to do. Say a prayer, a protection prayer, Psalm 91, or some prayer that is your favorite prayer. Consult your Bible for protection. There's a book that you can buy. I believe they sell it on Amazon. My daughter bought it for me. You can buy this book right here, which is Spiritual Warfare Prayers. And in this book, it shows you some prayers that you can use, that you can say how to overcome anxiety and how to overcome feeling lonely, because most people who are under spiritual attack normally go into hermit mode. How to overcome fear and doubt. So if you feel fear and doubt, it helps you with relationship struggles, generational curses, and family struggles. So this might be a good book if you feel like you're under attack, spiritual attack. Okay, so we were in the second one, right? Right. Train is, I believe that's how they're trying to get away. They're trying to run. This main male, who is this wealthy man, and this mature woman, who both are the main male and the mature female, they both false people that worked hard to try to cause an unaliving to somebody in the collective for a new beginning. Now they want to run. And Train came out on that actual death card, which is a major transformation. They try to cause a major transformation, and it's not going to happen. Spirit is revealing that it's in reverse, so it's not going to happen. The collective is not going to have endings. The collective is not going to have irreversible changes. The collective is not going to have a major transformation as far as negatively anyway. But more importantly, the collective is not going to have an actual death. Even though the collective did have a near-death experience. I got shot 5 times back on March 1st. Spirit is telling the collective is that if you were a third party to either this main male or to this this immature woman, this immature woman, that if you're already in no contact, then stay in no contact. Because if you're not, then it's time for you to separate. They did this shit out of pride and envy, which is two of the 7 deadly sins. This near-death experiences make the collective unbreakable. There's going to be some good news that's going to come out this wealthy man trying to steal this gift. Part of the good news is that this wealthy man is going to be bankrupt. Spirit baby was the bottom of the deck on week. So these lovers tried to steal energy, sacral energy from the collective and have a spirit baby. They wanted to have a baby by the collective so they could turn the baby evil, so they can make their heritage stronger by having that divine energy. But they going bankrupt. That's why they feel weak, because bankrupt, before you go bankrupt in the 3D, you go bankrupt in the 5D first. So that means that they're going to lose their spiritual gifts of being psychic or any other spiritual gifts that they may have. Then they're going to go bankrupt in the 3D, which means they're going to lose everything: their houses, their cars, their jobs, their kids, everything. They use these flying monkeys with this social media to try to recruit these people for these sex rituals, and also to try to use it as a smear campaign against the collective. But there's good news. This side chick who is maybe, I don't know, the side chick to this wealthy man. Maybe this wealthy man is already married and in a relationship, but is in love with this mature woman. And the mature woman is the side chick. And Spirit is basically clarified that, so we don't need to clarify that because it's already clarified. She was unappreciative of the gifts that God gave her. And being that actual death is in reverse for the collective, then that means it's in the upright for the karmics. So that means they're going to have a major transformation, some kind of way. It could be an actual unaliving, or it could be an irreversible change. Like their reputation can be totally destroyed, and you can't reverse that. This side chick was a local celebrity, which means that she knew a lot of people. She was running in a bunch of groups. She was running in a group with a community, which is a gang, if you ask me. She had a large family. She was also an Eastern Star. And she was trying to get initiated into the Masons, which the Eastern Stars is part of the Masons. They were probably controlling her. They was using her because she got played, because it was revealed that she got played. So they probably used her to try to control the judicial system, because I know that this chick was my ex. She was sleeping with a judge and she was sleeping with a police officer. So they was probably using her to try to control the judicial system, to try to steal this gift, this estate, this house, and this insurance money. As a result, for them using their psychic abilities incorrectly, okay, and using social media to try to smear campaign the collective and recruit these people for these sex rituals, and now they're under investigation by the FBI and the IRS. So now their accounts are frozen, and that's good news, and that's why they weak. Spirit saying, have sweet dreams. Even though that heirloom is in reverse. And there's concerns from an official person about this. So they did something impulsively with this gift. Because broken promises is this gift was promised to the collective. Could have been a book. Ain't no telling what it is. Could be a book, could be a picture. It could be a number of things. I mean, we don't know. I'm not that psychic to know exactly what the gift is. But whatever it is, they worked hard to try to steal it. This mature woman and this main male worked hard. Toil and labor is this mature woman. I mean, this immature woman, actually, and this immature male worked hard to try to unalive the collective for this gift. Gift. That was the good news. Is the gift was the good news. I'm telling you, it could be something gold. Hard to say. Could be gold. The gift, the heirloom could be something made of gold. But as a result of them doing all this sex ritual stuff to try to unalive the collective and the spirit, they in bad health now. And the official person is concerned about this bad health from this main male and these lovers. And this community. And this Masons. And this Eastern Stars. And this community. And and this family. Spirit saying it's game over for them. There's no proof that, they tried to kill me back in March. All I know is that I got shot 5 times. I took most of them in the chest. I still got 2 bullets in me. Got one in my face, one in my right, in my left arm, in my bicep. So once again, thanks for staying all the way to the end. If you stayed all the way to the end, I appreciate it. If you'd like to support the channel, you can support the channel at Priority K1 on Cash App. It's game over for these karmics. The collective is unbreakable. Good news coming. Till the next time we meet and greet, Ashe.